Hey, and welcome back to the multiverse of 100 plus data science project series. In this video, I am going to discussing about the resume categorizations using Python and machine learning. So this is demo applications called the resume categorizer applications with Python and machine learning. If I click here to browse one resume, so let's select this one, and if I click to open, and you can see here my resume is selected, and you can see the name, and as well as the extension is called PDF. And make sure that your file should be in the PDF format. And also you can see here we have one text called the output directory. So here you're going to save our resume in a specific folder. So if I click here to categorize the resume, then you can see here file name, and you have the file name, as well as you can see here it's Java developer. Okay, so let's select here another one. So let's select this one, and you can see here it's also uploaded. And now let's click here again, and you can see here the second one is uploaded, and this one is also a Java developer. And if I browse another one, so let's say select mine and click on open, and you can see it's also uploaded. And if I click to categorize the resume, then you can see here data science. Okay, and also you can see here one success message that's called resume categorization and processing completed. And let's select another one. Okay, so let's select another one. Which one select? Okay, yeah, let's select this one, business analyst, this one. Okay, and click on categorize resume, and you can see here business analyst. Okay, so this is how the application is look like and how it will actually work. And some kind of cases when you submit the resume to the job holder, you just have the name, but in my cases I just add here this name so that I can recognize the resume well. So now you can see here our resume is categorized, and if I click to download result as CSV, and I can download the CSV file. Okay, so let's click on save. Well, now let's check for the CSV file, which one you downloaded. So let's see this one. This is the CSV file. And now inside the file section, you can see here we have the file name as well as the category is Java developer, data scientist, data science, and the business analyst. And if I go inside back, and if I go inside the folder called category resume, and inside the sections, you can see here we have a folder already created called the business analyst, then data science, and as well as Java developer. So if I open this ones, we have two PDF. The two PDF from in there for the resume. Then another one is my own resume, data science. Then it have the business analyst, right? So this is how the resume is actually categorized in using Python and machine learning. So in this video, we are going to building this full application from the skirts. Also, one more thing, you can also delete them. Your resume from your selected. So when you select another resume, it will automatically update it to you in your CSV file. Okay, so this is how these full applications look like and how it will actually work. So now what we're going to do, we're simply going to jump on the code and try to building this full application from the skirts. Well, so in order to creating the application for the resume categorizer, we're going to use the dataset from the Kaggle. You can also use the dataset that's called the resume dataset. And if I go down, you have one CSV file. It's called gpt underscore dataset.csv, and which having two columns. One is called the category, and another one is called the resume. You can also using here this dataset as well. It's called updated resume dataset, which one having same things, two columns, category and the resume. You can use any of them. So I'm going to using this one, updated resume dataset. You can also using this same dataset, resume dataset as well, for building our machine learning models. So now let's go on the VS Code. No, sorry. Let's go on the Jupyter Notebook and try to do the coding part here. Now it's time to make your hand dirty and importing all of the important library which one is needed to building this kind of applications called the resume categorizations. So let's importing here NumPy first. So let's say import NumPy as NP. Then I'm going to importing here the pandas as PD. So NumPy is needed for multi-dimensional array calculations, as well as pandas is needed for loading the dataset from a directory as well as the visualizations. Now I'm going to importing here another library called matplotlib. So matplotlib.pyplot as plt. So this is the visualization library in Python. So using this matplotlib, you can do the visualizations on your data. Okay. Then after that, I'm going to importing here another visualization library called the Seaborn. So Seaborn is also another kind of visualization library in Python. You can use Seaborn to do the data visualizations, or you can also do the data analytics. Okay. Then after that, I'm going to importing here the RE. So R is nothing but called the regular expressions. So for regular expressions, we can using here the RE, so that we can remove some regular expression in our data. And this resume categorization project is nothing but an NLP based project. So that's why RE is needed. Then after that, I'm going to importing here the stop words from the nltk.corpus. So let's say from nltk.corpus. Okay. So this NLTK is nothing but one natural language processing based library which one is available in Python. Then after that, I'm going to import it the stop words. Okay, stop words. So stop words means nothing but the M, H, R, the vowels or the consonant or this kind of thing is in the stop word, just like the prepositions. Okay, so it will removing this stop word from your data set. So that's why importing here the stop word. Then after that, I'm going to importing here the level encoder for encoding the levels. Okay, so let's say from sklearn dot pre-processing, I'm going to importing here the level encoder. So why this level encoder is needed? Because we have some several types of levels. Because this is a supervised machine learning problems, we need to also encode them. I mean, convert the categorical value into the numerical. So that's why this level encoder is needed. Then also we need to importing here the train, test, and split so that we can split our data set. So let's say from sklearn dot model selection. So model selection, we are going to importing here the train, test, as well as split. Okay, just for splitting the data, because if you are building any machine learning model, so you need to divide your data set into 80% for the training and 20% for the testing data. Now I'm going to importing here the TF-IDF vectorizers, because this is a textual data. So we need to convert the data into the in terms of vector so that we can pass the data inside our machine learning model. So for that, what I can do, you can import it. Let's say from sklearn.pre-processing.text. I'm going to importing here the T, then you can see FIDF. Okay, TFIDF vectorizer, trump frequency inverse vectorizer. Okay, like that. So TFIDF vectorizers. Then I'm going to importing here. Let's say from sklearn dot matrix. I'm going to importing here the accuracy score. Okay, so I'm going to importing here the models. How you go to the deeper, because you are going to using here several types of machine learning model, and after that you're going to choosing the best one. Okay, so shift enter, or you can click in this button. Okay, so now it's time to load our data set. So let's say pd.read underscore csv, and after that I can giving here my data set name. Let's say resume.csv. If I go on that, just to wait. Okay, no problem, that error. Okay, you can see we have the file name called the resume.csv. I can download this dataset from the Kaggle and also rename it called resume.csv. So you have an error called module sklearn.preprocessing.text. Okay, it's not a pre-processing, it can be the feature extractions. Feature extraction. Okay, feature extraction dot text. Sorry for that. Okay. Okay, you can see now it's gone. The error is gone from sklearn.feature extractions, because this is the feature extraction technique. So that's why it's available inside this feature extraction.text. Okay, so that's our data. So let's making it called df. Okay, and now our data set is loaded in our working notebook. So let's say df.head. So it will give you some kind of some data, some sample of the data from my data set. It's taking me the first 5 sample of the data. So you have the data science, that's our resume. There's data science in a resume, data science in a resume. Now you can see, sir, the resume can be in a PDF format. So why shoot like that? Because you see we actually creating here one machine learning models, so you can also using here your real-time resume, and after that you can using here a library called PyPDF2, and after that you can extract the data. So what the Kaggle actually do, they're taking all of the resume and extracting the data from here and creating an extra column called resume, and as well as the category, so that you can building here the machine learning model. But how you're going to testing it out, you can using here our PDF or the own resume, you can actually use it here. So you have the data set in data science, data science, data science. So let's have a look the sample so that it can take in there are some random types of samples. So the first sample, let's give him the 5 samples. So you can see we have the depth ops engineer, the business analyst, the web designing, the testing, and as well as cell. So if we try to checking the shape of the data, so we have the 2 columns. So now let's see how many row we have. So we have 962 row. I mean, this kind of data are available. Okay, and 2 is nothing but for the column. How many features are available on here? Now let's checking for the category. So let's say categories. Okay, category, sorry, not categories, category. So you can check in the unique value on that. Unique, I mean, how many classes are available on here? So you have the data science, we have the ether, advocate, the earth, the web designing, the mechanical engineer, sales, health and fitness, civil engineer, Java developer, business analyst, and blah 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 blah. Okay, so all of the things it have. Okay, so that's are nothing but my class. That's are nothing but my class. So what kind of problem is it? Comment below. Just pause the video. Yeah, use the supervised machine learning model. Oh, sorry, problems. So that's why importing here the level encoder. Okay, because you need to convert this data science to the 1 or HR to the 2 or add bigger to the 3 like that. So that's why importing it here. Now let's try to do the value count. So let's say df, and we have the category dot value count. So let's say value, and after that you can show that counts. Okay, so that's the value, how many resume are available on that. So the most one is called the Java developer, the most one. Then you have the testing, then the depth of engineer, the Python developer resume, then Hadoop, the blockchain, and the data science, the mechanical engineer, the database. Then you have the business analyst, the network security engineer, quite important, the network security engineer. You can also do the bug bounty. You can also do the bug bounty hunter in a network security, or you can be an ethical hacker. Yeah, so we can also making the video regarding that. So bug bounty or the ethical hacking, I'm going to doing on course, I mean live course or recorded course, and it will free to all of the users. I can upload it in the YouTube. Okay, so keep ready, keep ready. After that, how in this multiverse it is going to end, how in is uploaded all of the projects, I mean 100 projects. Then we are starting here the ethical hacking course or the bug bounty course. Okay, all of the things you're gonna do, all of the things, just like a Kali Linux or a broad sweep or what kind of the ransom attack, all of the things. Okay, so now what I can do, we need simply going to do this data visualizations, because you already put here the matplotlib. Let's say data visualizations. Okay, data visualizations. So let's try to do the data visualizations. See, we just check in the value count. So let's try to do in plotting. Okay, so what I can do, we can using here plt.figure. Just check that how can you creating the figure side figure. Okay, I mean plotting. So let's giving here one plot. Let's say 5.5. This is the size of that. Okay, then after that, let's using here the df of category. Okay, category. Then we're going to taking here the value count. So let's say value underscore counts, and after that we can using here the plot. So let's giving here kind equal to, let's say, bar plot. So let's say bar plot. Okay, fine. Now let's using a plt.show. Here you go. Then you can see how the bar plot is look like. So we can also using here one technique. So let's use it here. So let's say plt.style dot use the gz plot so that it look cool. Now let's try to running this out and see how it look like. Yeah, this is how it look like. We have some grid and as well as our bar plot. Okay, so see, we most one have the Java developer. It's nothing but the 84, I hope so. And testing is just like the 17, and the depth of engineer is just like 55, I think so. Okay, so now let's try to do more visualizations. So let's creating here one pie chart so that you can do the percentage. You can check the percentage. How many percentage of resume is coming from the Java developer? How many is coming from the Python developer? So what you can do for checking, for creating the pie chart, we need to have in the count and as well as the levels. So let's take in the count. So how can I do that? You can using here df of category. Just taking this one category, and we can using here the below counts. Okay, we have the value counts. Now we need to have the levels. So we can get the levels from the unique. I mean, out of the column name. So from the category dot unique. Okay. From the unique, we can get here all of the column name that you can see. Okay. Then now let's give here one figure size. So we can copy and you can go these ones. Let's making it big. So let's make it 10. Now let us do the changes on here. So this should be the plt.pychart because we're going to creating here one pie chart. Then we're to giving here the counts, and as well as for the levels, you need to giving here the levels. Okay. Now we need to giving here auto cpt, AOT auto cpt. I mean, how many percentage you need that? Okay. Auto pct, sorry, pct. Then we have, let's say, percentage 1.1 percent f. Okay, that's it. That's okay. Now giving here the colors. So let's say colors equal to plt dot, let's say cm dot, let's say using here the orange. And now we're giving here the linear space so that it look quite cold, just like the gradient. Okay, linear space, and let's say giving here 0, 1, 3. The space is nothing but 3. Any problem? So module matplotlib has no call orange. Okay, so let's say orange. Let's press the tab so that it can give me the output position. It should be the oranges. Any problem? Any problem? So unsupported format call this one at the index number 4. Any error? So 1.1. Oh shit, should be the F here. Well, now it's look good. It's look good. Okay, so we have say 87% are in the data science. I hope so. Java developer is nothing but 4.2. 4.4 are the cells, and 5% are the earths. And we have the automated testing as well. Okay, business analyst, how many percentage it have? Okay, cool, really cool, really cool. Okay, so now what you can do, we can more analyze the data. So now let's try to do some cleaning of the data. Okay, so let's try to do the text cleaning using NLP. So what is the text cleaning actually? See, in our data set, that's our data. That's our data. You can see in the resume. If I'm taking one sample, so let's try to comment of this line, and let's say df of resume, and let's start checking this one. See, this is the resume how it look like. I mean, the first resume we check that. The skill is nothing but called the programming language, Python, the pandas, NumPy, SciPy, scikit-learn, matplotlib, SQL, Java, JavaScript, jQuery, machine learning regressions, SBM, name bias, scan and random forest, decision tree. So this is the first resume. This is the first resume. See, it having some problem. It having some problem, just like it having some special character, it having some link, it having some email. So what I can do, we're just going to removing this text from our data set. It's called the text cleaning or data set cleaning. Okay. So what I can do, we're simply going to remove URL. So remove URL. Then after that, what I can do, we can do the remove the HTTP. Sorry, remove the emails because URL mean HTTPX. Okay. Then we can remove the special character. So let's say we can remove a special character, just like you can see the \r, \n, or the *x. This is the special character, so we can remove the special character. So a special character. Okay. Then after that, you can remove the stop words. Remove the stop words. Stop words. Okay. I mean this and, this for, this can't, this b is the stop words. We can removing them. We can remove them. Okay. So now let's creating here one functions. So let's using a def clean. So we should take your text. Okay. So what I can do now? So we're going to define here functions called clean and which one taking one text. And this text is coming from the resume. this resume columns. So what I can do first, so first you're going to checking for the pattern. You're checking the pattern for the URL. And after that, you can check in the pattern for the email. And after that, you can replace it with a blank space. So see what it should do. So you can using here re.compile. So re is nothing but called the regular expressions. Now inside this compile, I need to giving here the expressions. Okay, so let's give it here. So let's say httpx. Okay, then after that, you can using here this exclamatory sign, then sorry, not a question mark sign, then using this ones, and after that you have one backslash, two backslash, and one forward slash, then you have the capital S. Same, this is the technique, this is the code you need to remember. Then we have the this sign and www, then we have the backslash. Okay, then we have again dot, then you have an backslash, then we have an s. Okay, then we have the plus. Say again, so you have ra.compile, we're going to using the array because you already import it. Then we have the r, then we have the httpx s, then we have the question mark sign, the colon, the backslash, the forward slash. Okay, then s, then plus, then one these extra signs, I don't know what it called. Then you have the www, and you have the again the forward slash, and you have the dot, the forward slash s. Okay, plus. So this is the pattern for the URL. So we call the URL pattern. Just you need to remove this one URL pattern. Now we have the email pattern. So what I can do, you can using here re.compile, and now to giving her the email compile. Okay, so what can do, we can giving here the byte, I mean backslash p, then our email value is starting for a to z, a small a to z, then 0 to 9. I mean all of the lowercase letter, all of the uppercase letter, and as well as the number. Now we're giving here one dot, then we have the this one. Okay, then we have the percentage sign, then we have one positive, then we have one negative, plus and minus. Now it's gone. Now what I can do, you can using here plus, then you have this sign, I mean the email sign at the rate of, then we can using here same thing, add to z, add to z, 0 to 9, 0 to 9. Okay, add to z, add to z, and 0 to 9. Then you can giving here a dot, and we have the minus sign. Okay, then you can using here any again plus signs. Just need to remember these ones. Then you have these ones and these ones. Okay, now do the same thing, add to z, add to z, 0 to 9. Cool, cool. Now inside the 0 to 9 we have the .com like that. Okay, so you can remove this 0 and 9 because we don't have any special character on that. So what I can do, we can giving here the 2 comma 2 comma, and after that we can stop the byting. Okay, we can stop the byting from here because it's go to the a to z, and you have the 2, and after that you can stop the byting. So let's b backslash b. Cool. So this is the email pattern. See again, r, this start from b, a to z, 0 to 9, then dot, this line, this percentage, positive and the negative, then again is close and plus, and the at the rate. I know it's quite boring. A to z, 0 to 9, then again dot and minus and plus, then you have these ones, and a to z, and 2 comma, and this bracket sign, curly brackets, and after that you can stopping them. Okay, now what I can do, we need to passing this just you going to removing this uh, this pattern from our data set, so what I can do, we can using here URL pattern dot sub, and we're simply going to replace it with a blank space. So let's passing here the text. I mean this text is coming from our parameters, so this is our clean text, so it should be the clean text. Okay, now we need to do the same thing for the email as well. So let's say email email pattern dot sub, and we're simply going to replace with a blank space, and it should be the clean text. So let's say making it clean and text. Okay, so clean text. Okay, fine. Now I want to also removing a special character. Okay, so just keeping the white space and the word as well. So what I can do, you can using here re dot sub, Now we need to removing here the special character. So what I can do, you can give using here these signs and one two sign. Then you have the backslash w and backslash s. Okay, for the special character. Now you're simply going to replace it with a blank space. With a blank space. Then after that, you can making passing here my clean text. Okay, this clean text. So same thing here. I just making this video name the same as it is so that it can passing. Okay. Now to removing here the stop words. So what I can do, you already importing here the stop words. You can see from the nltk.corpus, we importing here the stop words. So now we can simply going to using it one. So what you can do, you can using here set, and you can using here stop words. Okay, stop words dot words. So what kind of word you can using here? So you can using here the English word, because in our data set we have all of the word is nothing but English. Okay. Now it should be the stop words. So let's say stop words. Okay, fine, cool. Now we need to add in now. So let's say text clean text equal to, let's say, join. Now we can using here one follow, let's say for word in clean text dot split. Okay, so if it is found in a stop word, so let's say word dot lower not in a stop word. Okay, not on in stop words. Then after that we can join it. So let's say it should be word. Okay, so for what in clean text dot split is spread in the, all of the text, and after that we also checking for the stop word, because we need to apply the stop word as well. So if the word dot lower is not in the stop word, then we can simply going to proceed. Okay, now we're simply going to return here the clean text, return clean underscore text. Okay, so now what I can do, you need to giving here one text. So let's say as just a string. So let's say hello, comma, that's a dollar sign, percentage sign, this sign. No problem. I found this, let's say this article, just testing article at, let's say, is httpx, and we have, let's say, www, let's say chando.com, my name. Okay, so let's say you can contact me at, let's say chando at the rate of, let's say, example.com, because this is example mail. Okay, so you can see, so let's, yeah, and now let's try to passing it here inside the clean method. So let's x, so you can see hello found article contact. That's when this is really working. It will remove in all of the stop word, all of the URL pattern, all of the email patterns, and as well as the stop word, right? So now see why this kind of URL is not needed, because in a resume, you don't need the URL, you don't need the email right now. Just you have to classify them, which kind of resume it is. Is it coming from the data science background, or it's the resume for the Java developer, or is the resume for the Python developer? Okay, so this is how you can actually clean in the text. Okay, now what I can do is simply going to apply it inside our whole resume. So you're just checking for the one things, so you can apply it in the whole resume. So what I can do, you can use it in the resume. So let's say resume, then you can using here apply, and after that you can using the lambda method, I mean lambda function, it's NMS functions, and let's using here the clean x dot clean, and you can passing here x. Okay, and as well as let's replace it inside the same data frame, let's say resume. Okay, cool. So now let's check this now. Let's say resume, let's checking first one, so 0. So C skill programming language, Python, Pandas, NumPy, SciPy, Scikit-learn, Matplotlib, SQL, Java, JavaScript, jQuery, machine learning, regressions, SBM, name bias, like that. See, if I see before, you can see it just noisy. You can see it having some star axis, it having some bracket, it will removing all of them. It will removing all of the stop words, all of the special character, all of the URL pattern, of the email pattern because it's not needed. It's not needed. Okay. Now what I can do, we can do the encoding. We can do the encoding. So let's try to do the encoding. Okay. So encoding is needed. It's called the categorical to the numericals because we have some several types of target class. So what I can do, we can do the tf idea vector others in our categorical column, category column, sorry. So what I can do now, we can creating here one instance of the, let's say le level encoder. So let's say level encoder. It is also called one hot encoding, or you can also do the mapping. Okay. So let's say le dot fit. So we can using here df of category. Well, now after fit that we need to also transform our data. So let's say le dot fit. We already fit that. Now we need to do the transform. trn from. Okay, transform in our data. So let's say df of category. Okay, and now it should be in the same data set. It should be the df of category, like that. Well, it's fit on our data, so now we can checking like that. So from the df of the category, we can checking the unique. Okay, unique. Okay, now you can see all of the columns, sorry, all of the classes is converted into the numerical value. You can 6 12 0 1 like that. Okay, I mean, if I see this one's data set before, you can see right now you have the data science, you have the HR, you have the advocate. So what it can do, it will actually convert this categorical feature into the numericals. Okay, so let's start drinking some water because इतना बग बग कर रहा हूँ ना तो गला सूख गया. Okay, fine. So yeah, we're just going to convert the categorical to the numericals. Well, so now it's time to do the TF idea vectorizers because you need to also fit our data in the machine learning model, right? So that's why you need to convert them into the vectors. So for that, we can using here the TF-IDF vectorizers, and you're already importing. Let's say TF-IDF, and let's say TF. You can also press here the tab key from your keyboard, and it will give you the auto suggestions. Cool. Now we can using here TF-IDF dot fit. So which one? Which one? We can passing here my resume. We can passing here my resume. Okay. TF IDF. Now let's try to copy that, and after that in a start of fit we can now do the transform. Okay, so it's inside my resume variable. Okay, now we can pass in this resume variable inside the machine learning model, but before that it also divide our data set into the train, test, and split, right? So what I can do, you can using here the train, test, and split. And after that I can pass in here my resume, then df of the category, I mean this one category, and then we can giving here the test size. So test size equal to 0.2, 20% for the data for the testing. Let's giving here random state equal to 42. Okay, so now we can give here 4 variable called xtrain, the xtest, y train, and y test. Well, so now we divide our data set, training, testing, and not validation actually. Okay, so now let's start to checking the categories unique. Is it needed? Oh, it's a, okay, you can cut this out, it don't need that, we can paste it here. Okay, so yeah, I'll check that. Why to check that right now? Okay, we need to check in the shape of that. So let's try to check the shape. remove these ones. Let's check the shape. That's the shape. Yeah, how the shape look like. You can see here we have 769 is nothing but the row, and 8016 are nothing but the columns. Okay, so what you can do, let's try to checking for the y train as well, because we're checking that the shape of the x and y should be the same, because y nothing but is called the columns. So sorry, row, sorry. So you can see for the y train you have the row, the 769 and 769. Let's try to checking for the testing as well. Let's try to check for the testing dot shape 193. Then, and now let's check it for x test dot shape. Yeah, cool. Okay, shape is matching, shape is matching, shape is matching. Yeah, now we can do the model training and as well as the evaluations. So what we can do, we can actually uh, using here some multiple machine learning models, but let's try to using here the KNN first. Then after that we are going to using here multiple machine learning model. Okay, so what it can do, we can first import it from the sklearn, from the scikit-learn. So let's say from sklearn dot, let's say neighbor, let's say neighbors. We are going to importing here the k neighbor classifier. We can using here the tab. Okay, then after that what I can do is simply going to fit our data using the knn, and then you're going to using here multiple machine learning model, and we're also going to evaluate the model, and after that you're going to choosing the best one, which model is best. Okay, so what I can do now, we can creating here the instance of the classifier. So let's say clf equal to k neighbor classifier. Okay, then we're going to fit the classifier. Let's say clf dot fit. Okay, fit with the x train and the y train. Okay, then we have the y predictions. So we're simply going to predict it. Let's say classify dot predict, and we're going to passing here my x test data for the predictions. Now we got here the predictions. Now we need to passing here the accuracy score. So we have the actual value and the predicted value. So actual value is coming for y test, and the y predictions. Okay, so that's our accuracy. So let's say accuracy. Well, so now what I can do is simply going to print it out. Let's say try to print it out, and let's say we can using the f string. So let's say accuracy of the knn classifier on test data set. I mean test data. So we can using here the f string like that. So we can passing here the accuracy. Okay, so it will taking time. You can see accuracy right now 0.98. I mean 98% accuracy of the model if I using the KNN. So now I need to do the stacking for the all of the model, just like the logistic regressions, the random forest, the support vector machine. Okay, we can also using the name bias. Okay, so what I can do now, I'm going to importing here all of the library for the machine learning model. So let's say from sklearn, sklearn dot linear model. I'm gonna importing here the logistic regressions. Then from sklearn dot ensemble, I'm gonna importing here the random forest. Okay, the random forest classifier. Then from sklearn dot sbm, I'm gonna importing here the spc support vector classifier. Then from sklearn dot nbios, I'm gonna importing here the multi nomial and b Then after that, I'm going to importing here the one versus rest classifier. See, because this is a multi types of multi-class classification types, because it have more than two classes. That's mean this is not a binary classifications. So we can also using here the one versus rest classifier, which one using the KNN inside. Okay, so we can also import it. So let's say from sklearn, because it's an advanced types of model for the multi-class classification. So let's say one versus rest. Okay, classifier. Okay, so let's try to import it that. And now what I can do is simply going to creating here one dictionary for all of the models. So let's say models. Then what I can do first, let's do the k neighbors classifier, so we can copy these ones. uh, yeah, we actually do these ones. That's the KNN. So okay, let's add it now so that it look what. So it should be the k neighbor classifier. Then what we have the logic tree regressions. So this one, just like a dictionary, key and the value. Then we have the random forest classifier. So random forest classifier, you can also using the decision tree as well. Then we have the SBC. Then you have the multinomial NB. Okay, it's called the naive bias, or you can say multinomial NB. Then you can using here this one versus rest classifier, the last one. Okay, now let's try to removing this space. Okay, that's one model. So any error? So one missing required positional argument called the estimator. uh okay, we need to giving the estimator, right? So you can giving the estimator. Let's giving the estimator called the KNN. So let's give it here estimator. You can also giving the random forest as well. Okay, so now what I can do, we're gonna creating here one follow. So just taking for the models. So from model dot items. Okay, it will give me two things. One is called the model name, and another is called the model. So let's say model name and as well as the model. Okay, so in the models items we have the key, it's nothing but by model name, and value is nothing but by model. So what I can do, you can using here model dot fit, well, and you can giving here my x train and the y train. Well, then after that you can using here the predict. So let's say predict, and after that you can give here x test, and that's for predictions. So let's say y predict. Okay, now we can check in the accuracy. So accuracy is nothing but coming for accuracy score. So we have the accuracy score is nothing but the actual and the predictions. So y test and y predict, that's our accuracy. Then that's our model. So that's our predictions, that's our accuracy. Okay, now let's try to passing this accuracy inside my model name. So let's say model name, and let's making it called accuracy. Okay, so what I can do, we can creating here an empty list called the accuracy score, accuracy as scores. Okay, like that. And after that you can printing it here. Let's printing. So what I can do, we can using here the fstring. So you can say let's say accuracy of the model name on test data, and we can giving here the accuracy. Okay, accuracy scores is not defined. Okay, it should be the accuracy. Okay, and it should be the one list. Okay, so now accuracy score is not defined. Accuracy, okay, it should be the accuracy score. Yeah, and list indices must be integer or slices, not string. Any error? Any error? Accuracy. The accuracy of the, it's called model name. The model. Yeah, let's try to, yeah. Okay, just having some problem in the name. List indices must be integer and or slice, not string. Why? Why this error? X train, Y train. In the predict, we're giving here the X test and Y test and the Y prediction. So we have the accuracy. Now inside the accuracy scores, we simply going to, okay, it's not should be the one list. It should be one dictionary. So that's why this kind of error. Okay. So you can see accuracy of the KNN is nothing but 0.98, 0.99, 0.98, 0.99, 0.97, and now we got the error. Character Code should provide an instance of scikit-learn estimator instead of a class. Okay, so you got an error for the one versus rest classifier. Okay, this kind of problem can be happening here. Okay, first we're mistaking here, we're giving here a list but with a dictionary, because this is a dictionary. Okay, you can see here we have 98% accuracy for the KNN, and for the logistic regressions we have the 99% accuracy, quite good. 98% accuracy for the random forest, 99 for an SBC, and 97 for the multinomial NB. I mean the name bias. So here the one versus rest. Yeah, it is coming. Yeah, coming right now. We have 98% accuracy for the one versus rest classifier. If I am using here the KNN as the instance of that, we can using here the random forest. Let's try to check that it is working or not. Okay, so let's try to check that. KNN 98, 99, 98. Okay, for the multinomial we have the 97. So now let's checking for the random forest in our one versus rest classifier, because if you have the multiple class, you can using here this one versus rest. 98% accuracy, same thing, same thing, same thing. Okay, so let's make it now the KNN. Okay, so now what I can do, we can choosing one model from here, and after that you can save it out so that you can use it later on if we're going to building here our applications. So what I can do, we can copy this out. So let's making it call model and as well as a model. Okay, so this our accuracy is not needed. Okay, so it's time to save our model, right? So it should be the model. So which model we're going to choose? SPC is giving the best accuracy, I hope so. Or the logistic regressions. Logistic also gave me the best accuracy. So let's choose the logistic one. So it should be the logistic regression. Here we go. Okay, you can also choose the KNN as well. Okay, let's try to do it using KNN as well. So we don't need it right now from sklearn, not needed. Okay, well now let's try to evaluate the model. So what I can do, we're simply going to taking a resume, and after that we can passing it to the model, and we're going to check in that is that our model is working fine or not. And after that you're going to save in the model in the pickle file. So let's giving here on resume. So let's say resume. So let's give it here the 3 columns. So let's taking it from here. Let's taking this one, or let's start using this ones. That's skills. Just copy this one and I am gonna paste it here. Okay, that's our resume. And now we're simply going to using this resume uh, for testing the model. So what I can do, first I'm going to using here the clean the resume, and you're going to passing here my resume. So let's say resume, let's making it call my resume, and let's making it call my resume. And after that, let's make it call clean resume. Okay, and then we're using here the tfidf vector, the tfidf dot transform, because we're testing it out. So though we don't need to do the fitting part here, so we're going to using here the clean text. So let's say clean resume. Well, and it should be our input features. Let's see input features. Okay, and after that we need to go do the predictions. So let's see using here model dot predict, and after that we can passing here my input features. So input features, and we're going to giving here the 0. Okay, that's my prediction id. So let's say prediction id. Okay, so now what I can do, it also having one category mapping. So let's say category mapping. Let's try to print it out. Let's try to print it out first. Prediction id. So my resume is not loaded, and you can get here the 6 is nothing but my prediction id. So if I try to checking that, uh, let's df.head. So it's called 6 because we're taking the first one and we got the right predictions, and 6 is, I hope so, data science. If I go on that, uh, here you go, you can say data science. I mean, it is really working fine. It's really working very fine, the data science. So we can also do one category mapping. If it is coming 6, so you can say that this is a data science engineer, otherwise it should be on machine learning developer, otherwise it should be an Java developer. So what I can do is simply going to creating here one category map. So let's say category map. Okay, so category map, just going to do it out. So let's try to do that, and I'm going to paste it here. Well, so let's paste it here. Here we go. Now what I can do, we can do the category mapping. So it says category map. So we can using here a category map dot cat, and after that you can give here the prediction id. Then otherwise, if it is not found, we can say that that's unknown. Okay, if it is not find the matching in our data set, I mean our mapping, so it will say that it's unknown. Okay, that's about category name. So let's say category name. Okay, now let's try to printing here. Print, that's a predicted categories, predicted category is, let's say we can pass in a category name. So category underscore name. Okay, so now you can see category, I mean predicted category is called the data science. So here you go. Okay, so we can also taking another one. So go on the resume sections, and let's say category is data science. Then let's taking another one. I think it's the first one. Okay, it's better we can open the folder. Let's open the resume, then we can copy one resume text so that you can testing it out. So you have the data science, all of them are data science. So let's using this one, database. Okay, so this is one we can copy, and we can go on here, and we can paste it here just to white. So we can rebobbing this once, and after that we can paste it here. Okay, so let's check this one. You can see category is nothing but databases. Okay, cool. Really working very fine. Okay, so now it's time to save our model in our model file. So while saving the model, we're also saving here our tfidf vectorizers. So let's try to importing here the pickle. Then after that, I can dump it. So let's pickle dot dump, and then I can using a tfidf. Then let's give in here open, and let's set tfidf dot pickle file, and as well as to giving here the mode called wb mode, and then we have the model. So copy and to have the model. So it should be the model. So let's say model, and it should be our model. So let's say model dot pickle. Okay, so let's check in this one. So you have the model pickle file and tfidf dot pickle file. So now what I can do is simply going to creating here one web applications and try to testing it out based on our resume. Yeah, you can also give in here one PDF in the resume format. Then you're going to testing it out. So let's go on here. Well, so our model training is completed. So now it's time to creating here the web applications. And I will write the code here. And we're going to using here the Streamlit. So let's try to run the application first. Then you're going to understand that what actually happening here. So just go on the terminal and type Streamlit run app.py. And it will run the application in your local server. Okay. I mean, your web browser, it will opening that. So you have the link and it will automatically open the applications. Well, and you can see running, and cool animation. And you can see resume categorizer applications with Python and machine learning. And also have one section where you can choose the PDF file. Choose PDF file. You can browse the file from here. And after that, we have one folder directory. I mean, this is the output directory. Here you're going to saving here all of the resume. So its name is called the category resume. That's actually making this out. You can also change this name from here. And if you click this categorize resume button, it will give you the suggestion that you are selected here a resume, which is from the data science, which is from the Java developer. Okay. So now we're going to discuss about that. How can you building these applications? So if I go on here, see first import here the OS, then import the pandas SPD, then you have the pickle. Okay. Because you need to loading here our model file in our directory. So you have our what vector, I mean my vectorizers in tfidf vectorizers, and also have my models. Okay, so for this case you can using here the logistic model for creating this machine learning model. So what I can do, we shortly is not needed. Okay, so we importing here the two of them pickle. We load here two of them, the tfidf and as well the model file in a write mode. See pickle dot load, and inside this open method we giving here path of my pickle file and also mode rate mode. So we have the word vector and as well as the model file. Then we also importing here the PyPDF from the PDF reader, because when you are going to uploading here any PDF file, you need to also stack them. I mean, we need to also stack the data from the PDF file. Okay, so that's why you're going to import it from PyPDF. We import it the PDF readers, and as well as import here the RE. It's called the regular expressions. Then you also importing here the Streamlit as a ST. Cool. So this is the importations. I mean, importing the library. Okay. So then what I can do, we're simply going to go down. Then you can see here we have a sections called resume categorizer application that you see in the applications title, and also having an subheader. So here you could add here with Python and machine learning. If I go on that, you can see here with Python and machine learning, and this is the header. Well, then what I have, we have a sections called choose the PDF file. So that's why I'm using here this st.file uploader, and inside that we give here our text called choose PDF file, and type should be the PDF. Okay, so you can also giving here txt file or the docs file, but in this case you're going to using here the PyPDF, so better you can giving here the PDF. I mean, how you're going to taking the resume from the students or the interviewer, so make sure that you need to taking this resume in the PDF format. Then you give here access multiple file equal to true. That's mean it can access in the multiple file from your applications. I mean, because you're going to put here so many types of so many of the PDF file, I mean the resume, then we can also classify them and also store them into the CSV file. That's why. Then you also give here one output directory. So how are you going to actually save our files in a format in a folder. So that's why we actually giving here the output directory that you see here. If I go on here, you can see output directory and also giving here a name. You can also rename this. Okay, it's up to you. And you can also giving here one by default name. So I give here the by default name in our parameters in our st.text input. Then we have one button which one help us to categorize the resume. So if the file is uploaded, I mean, if anyone actually upload the file in our applications, what it can do, it can call in this categorize resume functions. So it will take in one upload file and as well as the output directory. So if I go inside this functions called the categorize resume, so it will take in the upload file and the upload directory. So what it can do, it first going to creating here one directory. Each of the directory, it will creating this in our folder. If I go on that and I will testing this our application, see in the categorized resume, it having a folder called the business analyst, the data science in the Java developer. So which one having the all of the files? Okay, which one will have the all of the files? Just like in the data science, we have my own resume. In the business analyst, we have my with another resume that I selected, and in the Java developer, it having the two resume. Okay, that you see earlier in our demo first. Okay, so that's mean what you can do if the directory is not available, it will creating the directory inside this categorized resume folder. So what can do, if the not os.part or exists in our output directory, it will creating here one output directory, I mean this category resume. And inside that, what I can do, we're going to checking that how many file is uploaded. If I go on that the application, if I chose to browse the file, then you can see, let's say I'm going to choose this one, and I'm going to choose this one. Let's say I'm going to choose this one. Okay, say multiple file I can actually choose, multiple file I can choose. You can see this one. Okay, I can choose multiple file, and if I click it to categorize me, then you can see here it gave me the output. You can see Java developer, PMO, I mean project managers, and also Java developer. So what it can do, you can also download the result in the CSV file as well. That's why you're giving here the access of the multiple file. Okay, that means let's say you have a multiple number of CB. If you're a job holder or if you are an intermediate taker, so yeah, you have multiple CB. How can you categorize them? Which developer is he? Is the data science he's coming from the data science, or he's coming from the Java developer or the Python developer? You can give it here your PDF file as well. That's why what I can do, if because it has a multiple file, so if it is and to the PDF, if the upload file dot name dot ends to the PDF, we're gonna just taking this one. We're just gonna take in these ones. Otherwise not. If it is TXT file or the docs file, we are not going to accept it, right? Then what I can do, we're simply going to using here the PDF reader, and inside that we're going to passing here my uploaded file, and we have the pages. Okay, the first pages you're going to actually read that the first pages, and CB should be, I mean CB or the resume should be in a single page. It should be better for the interviewer as well. Then what I can do is simply going to extract the text. We have a method called the extract text, and as well as you need to clean the resume. After extracting the text or from the resume, you need to also clean the text. Okay, clean resume. That's why creating here a method called the clean resume. So which one taking the text, and it will help you to removing the URL, remove the special character, and as well as the removing the email or something else, right? So it will help us to cleaning the resume. You can also using here the same method or same variable, same uh, same method that actually creating here. Okay, yeah, this one same method you can also using it here. I just change this out and try to creating here a new one. Okay, you can also using this one. Okay, otherwise you can also using these ones. Both are same. Okay, removing the URL pattern, also the email patterns. Okay, so now what I can do now, and after that we're creating here one list of that category map. List of the category map, you can see here you have a Java developer, the testing, DevSops, that you can see in also the our Jupyter notebook as well. And after that we're simply going to creating here calling these ones. Okay, this calling these ones, this category map. Okay, so you can see here. Now after that you're going to actually using here the our what to backed, and try to transform here our clean resume, and you're going to pass it inside our machine learning model. Okay, this model will predict, and inside that you're going to passing here the input features as 0. Then after that you're going to using here the category mapping, I mean this category mapping, and then we're going to using here get prediction ID and unknown. This is the same thing that you should do earlier, right? And after that we're going to creating here a folder that's called os.part.join, and we add here our output directory and the category name. Based on the category, you're creating here the folder. You can see in the project manager it having the CB as well. Now after that what I can do is simply going to creating here one target path. Okay, how are you going to add here our category folder and as well as my upload file, so that it can transfer into the each folder. Let's say I'm going to selecting here one data science resume. It will go inside my data science directory folder. Okay, and after that, it's simply going to creating here on our file and try to append it inside my result. Okay, so inside my result, I have my file names and other my category. So this is nothing but for my creating the CSV file. So, but before the creating the CSV file, we need to also convert them into pandas data frame so that we can show it in our Excel file as well. So then we can apply here period or data frame, and inside there we're passing here our results, right? And after that, it's simply going to return here the DF, our data frame. Now here you can see here, this is done. Now you can simply go and just write that yeah, your resume is created, your selected resume, data science, the Python developer, or the Java developer, like that. And after that, it's simply going to store it to CSV. If anyone clicking this button, that's called download resume the CSV, it will calling this variable data equal to data CSV, and you having one file name categorized resume.csv file. It's an optional file name. Then we have giving here the mimi equal to test underscore CSV. Then after that, if it is working fine, we say that resume categorization and processing completed. Otherwise, please upload file and specify the output directory. Okay, if it's having some error, I mean, if the output directory is not available. Okay, so this is how our application look like and how it will actually work. You can also remove this one, and you can also giving here the same thing. Okay, so let's try to copy this out. You can also giving here the same thing name. Just I'm going to removing this one, and you can copy clean, and as well as you can do the same thing. But for this case, you need to also using here the stopwords. I mean, this stopword, we need to import it here. So this is stopword. We can also pass it here. Okay, just like that. Okay, just like that. You can also pass it here. Now you can see the error is gone. Okay, same thing. You can also do it, and as well as you can also using here the clean resume method. So that's why I actually add it. So let's make it right now same things so that you can learn the second method as well. Okay, now let's save it and go on the applications, and now you can see here Java developer, and let's try to rerun it, and that's our application is ready. Okay, let's remove this all of them and click on the browse file. Let's select this one, and if I click here to category resume, then you can see it's a DevOps engineer. Cool. Now let's browse here another file, and let's select more of them. You can also select like that. You can select more of them. You can see and categorize resume, and then you can see how many are there. You can download the CSV file. Otherwise, you can just go on the browse file, and after that you can select all of them, and you can also click on open, and it will opening all of the resume. You can see here 161 resume selected, and if I click it to categorize the resume, and you can also categorize the resume like that. Okay, and you can see limit is 200 MB. Now the question is, how I get this kind of CP file? I mean, how I can get? So I can get it from here. This is the link in the Kaggle. Okay, so I have uh, I'll give you the link in the descriptions. You can get here inside this resume folder. You can see here there are so much resume. There are so many resume. You can see here. Just I convert here 61 resume. Okay, and but there's a problem there. All of the data should be in a docs format. So you need to also convert them into the PDF. Now the question is, sir, how can I actually convert them to the docs to the PDF using Python? Yeah, I can also tell you that. How can I do that? Yeah, it's categorized all of the things. You can see how cool is it. You can see it will categorize all of the resume that you have inside the folder, and if you can also download it. So inside that or back, let's back it. Okay, now if I go on the folder directory, then you can see it also creating all of them: Hadoop, the Java developer, ETL developer, DevSource. And if I go on here and if I see this one, and inside this section you can see all of the file name and other the category. How cool it will actually categorize all of the uh, uh, resume, right? So let's go on here, just wait that how can you actually convert this PDF file, sorry, docs file into the PDF. So you're having, we just importing here the OS, and you're going to using here docs to PDF module, and after that we importing here convert from here, and then we're simply going to creating here one method. So convert docs to PDF, which is taking one directory. So we're going to taking all the files from our directory, and after that we're simply going to iterate to that, and if the file is ends to the docs, And after that, is simply going to os.part.join the directory to the file name, and simply going to using his convert method. So this convert method, it will help us to convert in these docs to the PDF. Then after that, simply going to convert them, and the printed converted file to be like that. And directory is nothing but resume, because in my resume folder I have all my docs. You can docs. So it will convert this resume in the same folder. So when you run this actually code script, it will try to convert your docs file into the PDF. Well, right. So this is how the full application working, how it actually work, and how it actually look like. So thanks for watching this full tutorial. Okay, and I'll be back at the another tutorial. So till then, take care, and as well as support us, subscribe our channels, and share with your friends.